I wasn't expecting it either. Hello friends, and welcome back to my channel, where today I'm going to be doing this eyeshadow look using these three palettes, mainly these two right here, but I did dip into this palette for one color. It's not necessary though. If you wanted to follow along, you could do it with just the first two. And I'm also going to be talking about some big news in my life. It's probably going to be in the description of the video, probably going to be in the thumbnail of the video, so pretty sure you know what it is. If you're new to my channel, hi, my name is Rachel. I'm a homeschooling stay-at-home mom. I love to play with colorful eyeshadow, and I upload about 3 videos a week, all eyeshadow related content. So perhaps you'd like to consider liking and subscribing so that you don't miss any new uploads. And without further ado, let's get moving with this eye look. So let me quickly lay out what I want to do for today's eye look. I pulled out these two palettes. This is Lush Life from ColourPop, the Orange Sorbet palette from BH Cosmetics. I think I want to do sort of a more neutral brown orangey sort of lid, and then do a pop of orange on the lower lash line. So I'm planning on using these 3 shades from Lush Life, possibly this one, haven't fully decided. And then from Orange Sorbet, I was thinking I would grab one of these two and maybe use this as an inner corner highlight. I think it might be time for me to get a brown palette. For a while now I've thought, well, this would look good with brown, but I don't really have any brown shadows. Not really. So I think it might be time for me to get a brown palette, because I think this would be cool if I could do more of a an all brown lid in various tones of brown, and then a pop of color on the lower lash line, or like a brown black palette where I could do a really dark smoky lid and then a pop of color lower lash line. I did pull out Play It Jewel from ColourPop, which I have customized, but this shade right here is original to the palette. It's called Finest, and this is a darker brown. So if I'm not loving how Lush Life is giving, like the shades Lush Life is giving me, I might grab that one. I'm not sure. I have an idea, but no firm plan. So let's get into this video. I'm going to prime my eyes using the Glamlight Icing Primer in the shade White Frosting. I had someone comment recently that they had never seen such a white primer. I'm like, yes, this stuff is great. I really like to use the White Frosting shade because I'm kind of a fairer mid-toned skin tone, and this is just a good color to give me a very nice clean white base, and the shadows really pop on a white base. So I really like this color. The brand has about 6, 7, 8 different shades in that product, so you can choose from several different options if you don't want white, but I personally like the white. Now, I have mentioned a couple of times, if you've picked up on this, please let me know in the comments. I've mentioned a few times in the last several videos as I was pre-filming for vacation, and then in the video that I filmed yesterday, which will go live before this one, I had mentioned that I had some news to share with you when we got back from our trip. And I think that it's probably going to explain several other topics in recent videos, because that news is that I'm pregnant. This was completely unexpected. I will go more into depth in a separate video about my husband and I and some of the struggles that we've had with infertility and getting pregnant at all. I'll talk about that later, as well as losses and whatnot. But yeah, I'm pregnant. So that's exciting, and it really was unexpected. I wasn't expecting it either. But this is where we are. So I am currently 16 weeks. I thought it'd be fun to show you my belly as it grew throughout these months, but I'm not sure that I'll be able to get it in frame very well. So, I mean, I think at this point everyone knows what a pregnant woman looks like. But anyway, I'm pregnant, and that's really exciting and quite unexpected. And I think it probably does explain a lot of the things that I've been talking about in recent videos, between my hair and nails being weird, my stomach being weird. You may have noticed before, a couple months ago, I was like, I just wasn't feeling great lately. Well, I wasn't feeling good. I tested, it was negative, but then I tested a few weeks later and it was positive. I'm like, aha, I got your number now. After that, once I knew that I was pregnant, I had to be careful what I said, because I knew the reason for not feeling well, but most other people didn't. So that is exciting news. Yeah, it's exciting. I'm going to go with my original plan for this eye look, and then I may morph it or alter it slightly as I go. We'll see. I'm going to start with the shade Guava from Lush Life, and I'm going to put this in my whole crease area. I think I'll use this as a bit of a transition color. So I'll start it with my brush pointing upwards, because I'm going to blend it out towards the brow bone, and just do a nice light wash of this color. And I think I'm going to bring it all the way in towards the bridge of the nose, because I'm kind of thinking I might do a slight cut crease sort of effect. We'll see. Anyway, so being pregnant, again, 16 weeks along now. It's very exciting. We told our family a few weeks ago, and what did we do? Oh, we took a picture, a family picture, and we grabbed one of our baby's onesies that she no longer fit into. And the picture said, now taking name, my palette fell. The picture said, now taking name applications for February 2023. So that's when I'm due, at the end of February. And it's actually super exciting. Again, I'll go into more detail later, but my husband and I have had some trouble getting pregnant over the years, and there are specific reasons for that. But basically, any pregnancy is quite surprising and honestly miraculous. And it's just awesome. So we're really excited. It, of course, brings in some new changes. Like, he's going to school now, and we just signed another, it was a 6-month lease where we're living. And we're really, really hoping that when the lease term comes up, we'll be able to find a house that we can rent, because we're in a townhome right now, which has a bit more space, and specifically storage space, because, I mean, townhomes don't have a lot of space. And so we're kind of cramped, and we're about to add another child to the mix. And children come with lots of paraphernalia. I'm taking a smaller and denser blending brush. In the Lush Life palette, I want to grab the shade Eden and place this in my outer corner. Really, I did a very light wash of that orangey tone. I think I have a vision for this look, but I have to actually play with the colors to see how it may turn out. I don't know. I think I'll bring this in towards the bridge of the nose to deepen up that area as well. Especially if I'm going to do a cut crease, then the bridge of the nose crease area needs to be darker, otherwise the cut doesn't show up. So baby's due end of February. We're hoping to find a house that we can rent, possibly buy. We'll see what finances look like, but a house that has a little bit more space. Another bedroom would be great, but if not, that's okay. But more specifically, storage space. Like a garage would be awesome, where we could get a second freezer for buying, stocking up on extra food. And we had one before at our last property, but we had to sell it when we downsized. So getting a freezer would be nice. We do have a small freezer that we got a few months ago that fits in the townhome quite fine. But it just adds more stuff to where we are. And with another baby on the way, it's like, okay, we would love more space. So we'll see. Hopefully when the lease comes up, we can find something. I'm really, honestly, I'm a bit tired of moving. I feel like we've moved about every 2 years, maybe every 3, if we average it out for our entire marriage. But I'm just kind of tired of moving. I'd like to just settle somewhere for several years. My husband is on a 6-year track with school. Hopefully he's able to complete it in 6 years, because it's a pretty intense program. It's a master's level program. And he's also working full-time, and he is going to have 3 kids, plus a marriage. So there's a lot on his time right now, and my brain literally just turned off. I have no idea what I was just saying. When I go back and edit this video, I'll be like, oh, that's what I was saying. Like, I've lost my topic sentence completely. I'm so sorry. I do not know what I was saying. Why was I talking about his schedule? I really don't know. I'm sorry. I would sit and back up the video and look, but my baby started to stir and then fell back asleep. So I'm trying to hurry through this so that I can get it done before she wakes up. I am so sorry. I have no idea what I was saying. I don't know. I'm going back into guava with the original brush. I'm just dipping into it lightly to blend out this edge, to bring in a bit more orange. I don't know what I was saying. I feel like such a derp. I guess I could blame it on pregnancy brain. See, now I can say that because you guys know. Really, this pregnancy has actually been, they seem to be getting easier for me. My first pregnancy was awful, so bad. I just lived on the bathroom floor and threw up all the time. My second pregnancy was pretty rough too. Then we had this big long gap. My third pregnancy was the little sweetheart who's sleeping upstairs. And then this is, well, okay, we had several losses in there. So this is actually probably like 6. Anyway, this one has been much better so far. I actually feel pretty good most of the time. I can get things done. I can move around and cook and clean and homeschool, and it's been pretty good. I am really tired and I get winded right away. Now see, that's nice. This is kind of a soft smoky brown with a hint of orange to tie into my shirt. I like that. Now I think I'm going to take a flat C or shader brush within the Lush Life palette. I do want to take the shade Hideaway, but I don't know that I'll put this on very much of my lid. Oh, actually, I'm going to do it with my finger. I'll get Hideaway on my finger, and I'm going to start this in like the middle of my lid. This is a sort of bronzy shimmer. So I'm putting it in the very middle of my lid and blending it out towards those mats. It's not really precise, at least not in this section. I'm going to color switch the brush that I just put Hideaway on because I don't want to use it for that shade. Now I want to use this brush for more precision, and I'm going to grab the shade Wildlife, which is a lighter, more neutral toned matte, and I'm going to spray it because this is one where I want a bit more precision to look a little bit more of a cut crease. So I'm going to place this on the rest of the lid space and cut it up here. Do you see what I'm doing? I'm sorry, I was so excited to announce the pregnancy that I don't know, the rest of my brain didn't kick in. It's not really in gear. So I'm cutting the crease, I'm doing a faux cut crease here with this shade, and then blending it out into Hideaway. With the same denser blending brush that I used for Eden, I have dipped back into the shade and I'm going back over where I placed it before in this outer corner. Right now I'm deciding whether or not I want to grab that other ColourPop palette to get a darker brown. I think I'll leave it for now. I may change my mind, but I think for now I'll leave it. Now I want to throw on some orange because even if I'm not totally done the top, I just want to see how the orange is going to look and play with the colors I've laid down so far. So I will take a smaller and pinched blending brush, make sure it's clean. I think there's pink on it from before. Grab my orange sorbet palette, and I'm going to play with the shade Tangerine. It's a little bit more yellow than orange. I mean, it's still orange, but it's more leaning yellow. And that will work with this yellowy shimmer that I laid down from Lush Life. So Tangerine is right here on my brush. I'm going to start it in the inner lower lash line. Anyway, we're really excited. We weren't expecting another pregnancy, especially because we had several losses and then several years of nothing, just radio silence. And it was, I mean, our last child, the one who's now almost a year and a half, she was a surprise. And then this one's like, wait, really? Really? It's wonderful. It's a huge blessing. We're really excited. And yesterday I had an appointment with my midwife because my children have been home births. Well, our oldest daughter was a home birth. Our little toddler, she was supposed to be a home birth, but there were some complications, so we transferred to a hospital. But this one hopefully will not give me any trouble. I'm going to bring this all the way to the outer corner and then I'll deepen it from there. And so I saw my midwife yesterday, and the baby's heartbeat is perfect and perfect position, perfect sizing. Everything seems perfect with me. Blood pressure and all the tests are coming back, blood and urine and all that stuff is coming back ideal. So I'm really excited, and it's always, especially when you've had losses, it's so comforting to hear that baby's heartbeat. You're like, oh, thank God. And I haven't done anything to mess things up, because even though you know you haven't, you kind of get into your own head, you know what I mean? I don't want to go too far into that in this video. That is going to be a topic for a different video, and there will be a trigger warning because I would get triggered by this kind of conversation before I had really healed from the experiences, so I don't want to cause anybody else any problems. But just know we're really excited, and it's going to be lovely. I think it's going to go by really, really fast because, hang on, I'm going to take a flat brush, and now I am going to grab that darker orange shade called Zest. I really want to pop this color under here. I want the lower lash line to be really bright. So I'm going to lay Zest basically on top of where I just put Tangerine. I think that pregnancy is going to go by quite quickly because I'm 16 weeks now. We have been working up to the trip and the wedding and everything that we just came home from. And now we're going to be pretty soon heading into the holidays because we are currently in September. and school started, and you know, once the holidays hit, it's like a whirlwind to the end of the year. And then our lease is up at the end of January. So if we're moving, I need to be filling boxes all this time and then finding a house. And it's just, I think it's gonna go by really quickly. There, I like that brighter orange on the bottom. I'm gonna take a small pencil brush, grab the shade Yum from the Orange Sorbet palette, spraying it because I want this to be a little bit more metallic and stay put. And I'm gonna put this as an inner corner highlight. Oh yeah, that's nice. That is nice. Haha, I love that. Come on, how cool is that? So this sort of bright pop of color on the lower lash line, really feeling it. I think it would be so pretty with a very dark smoky lid, like black and brown instead of just various tones of brown. I could hunt through my collection and find a black, but I think because I really want to get this look done before the baby wakes up, I'm just going to grab that darker brown and see what I can do with it. All right, so I've taken a large pencil brush and I'm in the Play It Jewel palette from ColourPop, the shade Finest. I'm going to put this in my outer corner and see if it is really going to add anything. It's hard to tell in my kind of not great living room lighting if this shade is really darker or just a different tone of brown. Yeah, I don't think it's really adding anything. It looks a lot darker in the pan, but maybe it's just my lighting. Maybe it's just hard to see. I think I'll just throw that on the lower lash line since I've already got it on a brush. And smoke out this orange area a little bit. Anyway, you have to tell me in the comments if you guessed that I was pregnant, because I definitely made some, like there were comments initially before I knew where I was like, I'm not feeling very good, and then I was tired and whatnot. And then after I knew that I was pregnant, I was still making those comments, but I wasn't explaining why. And you may have guessed. I feel like some of my viewers who've been watching my videos might have gone, I'll bet she's pregnant. She should test again, which is what I did, you know. But it definitely explains all of my not feeling well. And it probably explains the hair and nails. And it certainly explains, you know, I've been feeling tired or I just don't know why. Yeah, at that point I knew why, but I couldn't say anything. I was planning on waiting until after the trip anyway to announce on social media that I was pregnant because we wanted to make sure that all our family and friends had found out. I'm not on Facebook, and so that sort of announcement wasn't made by me. So there were still people in our personal life that we were seeing on our trip, and I was like, hey, I should probably tell you guys before I tell random strangers who are watching a YouTube video, right? Okay, I am liking this eye look. I think this is about it, honestly. Again, I don't want to complicate it too much, and I do want to get finished before the little one wakes up. So I'm going to choose a waterline color, and go off camera, finish everything, and be back. All right, guys, here is the finished look. I love it. I'm loving the smoky brown blacky tones up top with a little bit of bronze and a little bit of shimmery yellow, and then the pop of orange underneath. I just love it. And then I love how it's smoked out in the outer corner. It's just loving it. I did a winged eyeliner, and then for my waterline, I used this color from Udenzai. It is number 2. It's basically just a really bright, vibrant orange in my waterline. So there you go. And then on my lips, I'm wearing these two things. This is the ColourPop lip oil in the shade Hot Spark, and on top of it, I put a little swipe of Burt's Bees lip shimmer in the shade Caramel, just to bring in a tiny bit more of a brown tone. And that is everything. Okay, so loving the eye look. Hope you did too. Thank you for clicking and watching. I am so excited about this pregnancy. I'm 16 weeks along. Everything's looking wonderful. I'm so grateful. The Lord has been so good to us. And I'm just really excited to see what is going to happen in the next 6 months or so. It was funny because as I approached my vacation, I was starting to get a little bit low on video ideas, but I knew that as soon as I announced the pregnancy, I'd have a whole lot more to talk about. And I wouldn't have to try to conceal anything from you guys and, you know, be careful what I said, because a lot of things are related to the pregnancy, the fatigue and the stomach aches, and like so many things about my life now are related to the pregnancy. It's like, okay, well, that makes sense now. I can talk about things completely openly, and I'm excited about that too. So thank you very much for hanging out with me today. Remember to comment below if you guessed that I was pregnant, because I feel like I left a couple little hints. Maybe somebody picked up on those and was like, oh, you know what? Pretty sure I know what's going on here. Remember to like and subscribe if you want to see lots more colorful content, and until I see you in my next video, I hope you have a really, really great day. Bye.